Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today we're going to be talking about DMRs in Battlefield 4, or rather the plight of DMRs in Battlefield 4. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, DMRs stands for Designated Marksman Rifles. They are the semi-automatic, accurate rifles that shoot heavier rounds than assault rifles. They do more damage, and in theory should be precision weapons. They should allow you to down targets relatively quickly at medium and longer ranges. Now, DMRs have gone through some significant changes since Battlefield 3. The biggest is that they are now a universal weapon, so any class can use these guns. And the other big change is that most of them got magazine upgrades. Some of them can hold twice as many rounds. The Mark 11, which I'm using here, can actually hold twice as many rounds as it used to be, so that's a pretty significant upgrade. But they also got huge downgrades, and that's the damage model. The best way to understand the damage model is to compare the Battlefield 4 Mark 11 with the Battlefield 3 Mark 11. Most of the stats seem very similar. We've got the same rate of fire, we've got the same bullet velocity, we've even got the exact same reload times. The recoil's a little bit different, and the aiming down sights accuracy is a little bit different, and I'll get into that in just a second. But the main area that I want to focus on here right now is that little chart in the middle, which is the damage model. From the Battlefield 3 version, which is on the top, you will notice that it does 50 damage maximum and 37 damage minimum, with a pretty long drop off to that 37.5 damage. Now, the 50 damage maximum is an extremely important statistic because it means in close quarters, which in this case means 15 meters or closer, you can two-shot somebody in the body, or you can one-shot them in the head. Now, you might be thinking, well, isn't that a little too powerful to have the ability to one-shot somebody in the head? Well, if you think about it, shotguns have the ability to one-shot somebody in the body. The Magnum has the ability to one-shot somebody in the head, and that's a sidearm. I really don't think giving DMRs the ability to one-shot somebody in extreme close quarters is too overpowered. Now, without question, there were some DMRs in Battlefield 3 that were actually quite good. The M417, the SKS, these were fun weapons to use. In no way do I think they were ever overpowered. I don't remember actually ever being in a game and thinking like, oh, that punk using his DMR and just destroying everybody. You felt that way about guys using the AEK, the M16, the M416, but never a DMR. So it's kind of surprising to me that they've gotten such a reduction in their actual damage model. You also didn't really see much DMR use in any of the competitive scenes, which is a telltale sign right there that the DMR certainly isn't an overpowered weapon. Now let's take a look at this damage reduction. It's gone down to 43 maximum and 30 minimum. Let's start off with the minimum damage first. This is a huge downgrade because 30 damage minimum means that you're gonna have to four-shot somebody at extreme long range. 30 times 3 is only 90. You gotta get 10 more damage in there to drop somebody, so it means you're still gonna have to shoot them 4 times, which is honestly a death sentence with this weapon. Just the rate of fire and the accuracy of it, it's very difficult to get 4 shots at those longer range targets. If you can work in a headshot there, you can make it a little bit quicker, but pretty much your target has to be standing still for you to drop them. The 37.5 is a much better damage model at extreme long ranges. It allows you to get a 3-shot guaranteed kill no matter where you hit them. So even if you hit them in the leg with 37.5, you can 3-shot somebody. Now, the maximum damage of 43 seems just ridiculous to me. That means you have to still 3-shot somebody in close quarters if you're body shotting them to take them down. With the rate of fire that you have with this gun, 260 rounds per minute, if you run into anybody who has any automatic weapon, you are going to get out damaged and beat out in a firefight. Even if you headshot them, as we talked before, you will not kill them in close quarters in one shot. You're going to have to get 2 shots. So even one headshot and a body shot will take them down, but that's going to be very difficult to do. Now, when trying to understand why DICE gave DMRs 43 maximum damage, and not all of them have 43, some of them are just 40 flat out like the SKS, but most of them are 43, and that number just seems so weird to me because 43, what's 2 times 43? It's 86. That's what your headshot multiplier is. So even if you hit somebody in the head in close quarters, you're not going to one-shot them with a DMR. But a lot of precision weapons in the game use a 2.35 times multiplier for headshot accuracy to kind of reward you if you hit somebody in the head in close quarters or long range to allow you to get that one-shot headshot kill. Now, if you multiply 43 by 2.35, you actually get 101.5, which means that it looks like DMRs were being designed to give you a one-shot headshot kill in 20 meters or closer, but perhaps somebody just forgot to put in that code to the game before they shipped it, which honestly wouldn't surprise me, but it would make a lot more sense to how they were trying to balance the DMRs, because right now they just don't make any sense. You're going to lose out most close range battles. In fact, you're going to lose out all close range battles. Medium range, you're going to get beat out by assault rifles. Even at long range, you'll still get beat out by assault rifles and anybody with a bolt action sniper rifle. Now, this crappy damage model alone, in my opinion, is enough to make DMRs in Battlefield 4 a worthless gun. Just not worthwhile for any class. You may as well just ignore them until they get patched at this point. But in addition to having this crappy damage model, we also have some pretty crappy recoil multiplications. Now, one thing that has changed with DMRs versus Battlefield 3 is that you can now attach things to them. You can put heavy barrels on them, you can put different kinds of grips on there, like angled foregrip, to help you reduce some of your first shot recoil. And this has been compensated for in Battlefield 4 by giving the DMRs higher recoil and worse aiming down sight accuracy, with the idea that you can attach some things to the weapon to improve how they perform, which is a very cool idea, except that in the case of the Mark 11 here, there's no way to really get its accuracy and recoil to the state where it was in Battlefield 3. You can sort of pick one category. You can improve its aiming down sight accuracy, but it's still going to have crappy side-to-side recoil, and it's very hard to try and fix all of the issues here and get it up to the same state where it was performing in Battlefield 3. So I think they just gave the recoil again too much of a nerf, and it's been very hard for me to try and understand why DMRs got such a big nerf in Battlefield 4. I'm thinking that they thought the magazine increase was going to make them so much more better. The fact that they're available to all classes, that people were just going to be spamming DMRs all over the place. Definitely not the case as it is right now. I would love to see DICE do some upgrades to these guns, and I don't want to suggest like upgrading every single aspect of the gun and then all of a sudden all DMRs are crazy overpowered. I would love to see just a slow progression. You know, if we could get that old school damage model back in there for a lot of these DMRs that are doing 43 and 30 damage, up that to 50 and 37.5, and just see how that goes. If it's too overpowered, then you can dial it back down, but I have a feeling even that upgrade there is not going to make DMRs overpowered in any way. So I would love to see something done as soon as possible, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. You know, what do you guys think? Do you think DMRs are good weapons? I hear some people arguing in favor of them, but I just can't possibly see how they are good. I've played with every single DMR. I've got over 200 kills with like the Scar H SV. I've gotten a ton of kills with every single one of them, tried out tons of different attachments, trying to figure out good ways to use them. I kind of like the SKS, but that's only a kind of, you know, I would much prefer pretty much any other gun over these DMRs. So again, let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, and I think we can get DMRs fixed as long as we make the devs aware that what our concerns are and what we would like changed. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.